I try hard now not to travel at all during the holidays. And when the Thanksgiving, New Year's here is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Why would you want to go anywhere else?
True.
True. I can watch the fireworks show from my balcony.
Right.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I always thought, even growing up as a kid, New Year's was somewhat depressing because it meant that holiday season was over. Because I enjoyed that as a kid. Now I kind of see it the other way because I think, thank Christ, it's over. Yeah. Thank God.
Mark of age.
Yes.
I agree with you. I always looked at January 2nd was a day of remorse. You know, it's just like, oh, it's all over.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with you. Now, Christmas in Vegas. How many Christmases have you enjoyed in Vegas?
Oh God, I guess I've had about 12.
12.
Yeah,
okay.
something like that.
I've had quite a few more.
Yeah.
I've had probably double that. Does it still strike you as odd? Like it's an odd Christmas holiday? I mean, that it's an odd time. It doesn't snow particularly, although we were talking about the snow. And you said January, it was 2008.
2008. Exactly, 10 years ago that we actually had snow. Well, it's funny because, you always equate Christmas with snow.
Yeah.
Even though in every place I won't say every place, but I grew up in San Francisco, it doesn't snow.
Yes.
It doesn't snow, of course, here, except very, very rarely. In Washington, when I lived there, it did snow. It was a real pain in the ass because I tended at that time to leave. Those were the times that I did travel. So I wasn't around snow. Tokyo, I mean, is it Christmas? No, they have Christmas stuff all around. And when I first went to Japan, I thought, thank God, I'm going to go someplace I don't have to put up with Christmas bullshit for once. No Christmas music. I don't have to listen to Mariah Carey or anybody else singing Christmas songs. Was I wrong?
Well, yeah, I would.
Was I wrong? Oh God, they just don't understand it really. But it's always, any occasion that they can have to go out and spend more money. Or buy stuff, they'll do it. Now, it's a work day. It's not a day off.
Right.
So it's just like it's more of an occasion like Valentine's Day.
I would have assumed that without knowing you.
Yeah.
I would have assumed that because I've always known that the Japanese culture, especially the modern culture, eats up everything that we put out.
Yes. Oh, they do it. Yeah.
Late.
Yeah.
Sometimes late. I think they're like right now. They're kind of they like to get our stuff right away. Everything is so immediate now. But I mean, KFC. They love KFC. They love all the fast foods.
Makudu Naruto.
Yeah.
It was interesting when they first opened Kentucky Fried Chicken in Japan. It didn't really do well.
Really.
So they had to kind of rebrand it, and they really took Colonel Sanders. In Japan, he's known as Kentucky Oji-san, literally Uncle Kentucky. And they put a statue of Colonel Sanders out in front of all the restaurants.
Yes.
That did the trick.
Really?
Maybe just seen some old white guy.
Well, of course.
Hey, let's go in here. There's an old white guy serving chicken.
Well, now, speaking of Colonel Sanders and everything else, have you seen, this has nothing to do with Japan, have you seen that they put out, I thought this was a joke. I saw it on Kimmel. A Kentucky Fried Chicken scented fireplace log.
Oh, I heard something about that. Is it? What does it smell like? It smells like the chicken?
The extra crispy Kentucky Fried
greasy
chicken. The greasy
chicken. Ooh.
Yeah. And Kimmel had a great joke. He said, what do you want for Christmas? And raccoons. And that's that. I just can't imagine that. Yeah. I looked for one. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Would you? Now, do you have a fireplace?
Well, it's one of those gas ones,
Okay.
It's just there for looks.
Yeah. People always ask, back to Las Vegas and Christmas, people always ask, how cold it gets. That we already, have talked ad nauseum about how hot it gets, but people, I always say, I don't have a pool currently, but when I had pools, they would always freeze over. As you said, in 2008, we had the first measurable. Now, you explained it was a measurable snow.
Yeah, it was like 3 inches they got on the strip. Now, we will get it in the hills, as you know. We will get it sometimes in the hills.
Absolutely.
Because of the elevation. If you get to where I'm at here in Henderson, it's probably the same as the strip. It's about 2,000 feet. When you get up towards 5,000 feet,
right,
That's when you get into Summerlin area.
Yeah, Seven Hills.
Seven Hills.
Yeah.
You're up 5,000. You will get snow there. You can see it. That might stay on the ground. It might be an inch or so sometimes. And then, of course, Mount Charleston is up higher than that.
Yeah, Mount Charleston, Lee Canyon. Just beyond that, of course, is Bryan Head.
Yeah.
Great skiing. But if people are coming here, one place that's so easily gotten to is Red Rock Canyon.
Yeah,
beautiful snow, snow-topped peaks and the Red Rock. It's such a fantastic place. So regardless of the Christmas in Vegas, which we're going to talk about some highlights. I found some highlights I didn't know.
Yeah. Of course, I've often wondered. You think about some of our people who are of Australia and New Zealand, where they're enjoying their summer this time of year. Mm-hmm. So they would always know where it was really hot.
Yeah.
So it must be for them growing up, I would think, as a kid, and they always see these images of Christmas with snow and everything like that, and they would say, "Well, that's not how it is here."
Well, I talked to friends from Chicago and New York, and especially Buffalo. I think once you live here and have nice, crisp, cold winters, but nothing to clean up and no ice to fall over or crash your car, I think we lead, it's a romanticized version of Christmas. Yeah. Snow isn't really fun in cities.
No. And I think what here, we talked about, it's different because here is, particularly on the Strip, it's pretty much a celebration year round, right? People come here to have a party,
right?
To have a good time, regardless of what the occasion is.
Right.
It's the World of Cement, or whatever it is. If you're here for that, hey, let's have fun. It's holidays. People come in from Southern California, 3-day weekends. Yeah. So it's always kind of that feeling. Yeah. In some cities you go in, they're stringing up Christmas lights downtown, and then they'll stay there like around here. We'll have the damn. They'll have wreaths here in Henderson until about April.
Yes,
until they actually take them down, right?
That's true.
But here's it's like, well, it's always bright and lights flashing or whatever, right? It's always kind of
festive. And there's a list here that I've made. What notable things to see in Las Vegas? Things definitely some things I didn't know, or at least the numbers involved. But. Now, do you like Christmas? It sounds like no, not so much.
No.
Now, is it because of the marketing?
Giant that's
that
what it is.
Okay.
I mean, in the fact that it's starting to invade other holidays.
It is. Now we have like Black December.
Pretty much. And or the day before Black Friday.
Right.
Yeah. What was that holiday again? Yeah. Well, it used to be, was it 12 Days of Christmas, right?
Yeah.
That was the song. And I remember growing up as a kid, we wouldn't even get our Christmas tree until about the 10th of December, something like that, because it was a live tree or whatever, and it'd be dead in a couple of weeks. So it was early December. And now, I mean, I look around, I see my neighbors putting up lights the day after Thanksgiving. And
you know what? I did mine early.
Yeah.
I did, because I just had the time before, when this comes out, we'll have just passed the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, nothing says Christmas like a rodeo.
That's right. But that's lots of fun. If people want to come for the rodeo, that's something that is very specifically Christmas for Vegas.
Yes, because it's always in December.
And it packs the town, But unfortunately, however nice the Cowboys are, and they're very courteous and they're very interesting people.
Yeah, I always liked working the rodeo.
Yeah, they are unfortunately stiff. They don't tip. No. They don't have a lot of money except for the big handlers that come out. But I always know it's Christmas. Well, I know Christmas is coming with the PBR, which is the Pro Bull Riders Association.
Yeah,
it comes out in October, and then very quickly right after that, we always knew it as NFR, but now it's Wrangler National Finals.
Oh, is that right? I always knew it as NFR.
Yeah. And they'll be gone by the time this podcast comes out, but we welcome them, and they're great for business in town.
Yeah.
They do eat.
Yes.
But they don't gamble really very much.
But I think their culinary tastes are kind of limited, or I wouldn't say limited, but all kind of the same. The meat and potatoes.
Pedestrian, yeah. I mean, they're not going for foam on fish.
Yeah. They're not going to go to Picasso.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But what is something that says Christmas to you in Vegas? I mean, when you start seeing it. Because I spent spend a lot more time on the Strip than you do.
Yeah.
But
when we worked at hotels, it was frustrating because there's Christmas and New Year's, and there's New Year's is the Christmas for Las Vegas, right? In the sense that that's the big occasion. But since so many of the shows go dark,
right,
we get a lot of people come here Christmas expecting to do things,
right,
and not realizing that, well, no, everything is shut down. A lot of things are shut down. There's not a hell of a lot to do in terms of going to shows. You have to see which ones are open. Right. Yeah, they might have a few specials here and there. What I always liked was the decorations that they did, like at the Bellagio. You know, in the
conservatory.
Thank you, the conservatory. Now the Palazzo does a nice job as well.
Yes.
They have something. Of course, when I worked the Venetian, the Palazzo wasn't there.
The Palazzo. Oh, in fact, we're going to cover these. The Palazzo has what they call the waterfall and garden.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are nice. But again, you can go through those pretty quickly.
Yeah. You're right about the shows. Questions are, how cold does it get? Freezing-ish. Around 32,
overnight
30s.
lows. Yeah, if you're out, you're going to notice it. You know, you'll get high 30s at night, and then daytime temperatures. Like today, it's cloudy. Yeah, it's probably going to be 60-ish, 65. I
Agreed.
think.
Yeah, overnight you could see 25, 28. Yeah, but generally you're going to see 35, something like that. Coat weather for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, unless you're like me and are never cold. But
you're from North Dakota.
Right, exactly. But and it's funny because the things that we see and the things that people see are so different. Like you said, the lights are always the lights here. It's a beautiful and twinkly and bright, and it's always fun in that respect. So it's not really like a Disneyland or New York, making all the lights. But I see the funniest things. Like I was just visiting my friends over there at the Hard Rock, and that's where a lot of the entertainers are, other than downtown. And that's where Drunken Gene Simmons is. Yeah. Except now Drunken Gene Simmons will have a Santa hat on.
Yes.
And Dirty Pikachu cleaned up a little bit and has some bells on.
And a beard or something like that.
Yes, and a Santa beard. And then instead of showgirls, they wear little elf costumes.
Yeah. I don't mind that.
No, of course not. Yeah. But I don't know if there's really anything, as you're driving down the strip, other than the lights, other than seeing a couple of entertainers that are humorous, there isn't anything that just that is that moment. You have to actually go to things, which is why I have my list.
All right,
my list right here, John. So Bellagio,
yes,
their fountains. I'm actually going to mention their hours here. 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Yeah. Special Christmas music in the fountains. If you've never been here, Bellagio has a giant lake in front. Beautiful fountains, all timed to music.
Just don't go swimming in it.
Don't go swimming. Yeah, unless you're Bruno Mars. Noon on Saturday and holidays. Mm-hmm. So they have an extra one during the holiday, and 11 a.m. on Sundays. Really very nice, actually. Even non-holiday, it's fantastic. And they have decorations around Hyde, which is a nightclub, which is where the little the proposal table is for all the special things.
And they always look nice. That's one of the things I will always stop if I'm on and it just happens to be the water show. Right. Stop and look at it. It isn't like I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen it dozens of times.
Right.
But it always looks really nice.
It does. Yeah, and and if you're a Andre Bocelli fan, you can hear him almost every day. But as you mentioned earlier, the Bellagio Conservatory. Now here's some numbers.
All right.
We've always liked numbers on the show. 28. Now this is only during the holidays. During the Bellagio has a conservatory. The conservatory is a beautiful hand crafted garden by the botanical department of the Bellagio of the MGM Resorts International. And this year they are having 28,000 poinsettia plants.
Wow.
40-foot Christmas tree with 7,000 lights and 2,500 ornaments. And I don't think this is new, but I have new for some reason. But they have a polar bear with made of 12,000 carnations.
They had one a last couple of years ago when I went. They had a nice one, so that might. But hey, it's gonna be a different polar bear.
It looks a lot like the Coca-Cola polar bear, but very worth going to see.
Oh, absolutely, and it's free.
It's free. Wow, yeah, that's right. Next, just down the street there, it's called the Winter Park. Of course, this is the park at the Link. And from 6 to 10, they have carolers. They have clog dancers. They have music of all types. They have different foods. They have handcrafted alcoholic beverages. And this year, the High Roller, which is the
The roller
Ferris wheel
yes.
is being lit up specially for Christmas with over 2,000 LEDs synced to the music of the park.
Now, the clog dancers, is there a pole involved in that?
There is not.
Oh, okay.
No.
Nobody should see me down there.
No. The Heineken girl is fully clothed. And the sad ice rink.
Oh yeah.
People always see this, and you know what they do? It's a fun place, but it's absolutely not Rockefeller Center.
No,
it's little tiny. It's portable.
Yeah,
it's a little portable ice rink. It is absolutely there. People always think we're making that up. It's not. It's right there at the park, basically in front of T-Mobile Arena.
Yeah,
and it's tiny. I wouldn't put it at 50 by 50. Honestly, I mean it's very small, but you pay for your skates and you go on there and you skate for an hour and it's fun. If you're from the East Coast and miss that type of thing, it's well worth going. If skating's not your thing, it's not really. It's kind of fun to see the people there falling down. But again, mentioned earlier, the Palazzo Waterfall and Garden. That's inside the Palazzo Tower area and lobby of the Venetian property. Beautiful. Yeah. Now I have a trick for everybody right off of Spring Mountain Road if you're coming in off the freeway from California like everyone does. Get off on Spring Mountain, continue going straight down Spring Mountain, stay to your right across the strip, and you'll go right into the Palazzo parking area. Don't go to the Venetian Tower. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I would even say if you are a street guest coming in off the street and you want to ask the concierge something, go to the concierge at the Palazzo. No one's ever there.
Yes, they're sad concierge. But the Palazzo is a wonderful place. If you like high-end shopping, they have some really notable places there.
And nice restaurants,
Nice restaurants, although I did see the Batali restaurants were boarded.
Carnivino,
they were boarded up.
That's too bad.
But check out the Waterfall and Garden over there at Palazzo. Now, here's something no one ever mentions, and I think it's terribly unfair because it is absolutely off the strip. It's not easy to get to, especially if you're traveling without a rental car.
Yeah.
But you can Uber or Lyft out there. Ethel M. Christmas Cactus Garden.
Oh, of course. The Cactus Garden. I go there a couple of times.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
It's in Henderson.
It's in Henderson, Green Valley.
Yeah.
It is probably from the strip, you're looking at 20 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
It is normally it's a botanical garden with a desert theme, connected to the Ethel M. Chocolate Factory, so it's
which is worth seeing. You get a free piece of chocolate.
You can get a free piece of chocolate.
Anything. It's free,
and they free, and they have wonderful chocolates to purchase.
Yes,
and it's a really great place, especially if you're a fan of the botanical areas of vacation areas. It's a great place to go. But the Christmas one is really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's
fully
nice.
lit professionally, and it's a great place to go. In conjunction with that, in a different direction, is the Springs Preserve.
Yeah.
Which is another botanical and learning facility. It's like it's almost an annex. Lots of weddings happen there. I didn't realize how many, but a tremendous amount. It is towards North Las Vegas, off the freeway, and well worth going. But I would recommend definitely having a liking for the desert atmosphere. Or kids. Kids love it there. And then this is instead of having a Santa, a normal Santa. Over at Mandalay Bay, with the beach and the shark reef, they have Santa in a shipwreck.
Oh.
And they have Santa in scuba diving and doing the whole shipwreck thing. And then you can buy a special ticket to this, and you and your child can watch Santa in the shipwreck. And then Santa will give an autographed photograph of his travels, and he and your child, like a normal thing, but over at Mandalay Bay.
Did he wreck the ship?
He did not wreck the ship. Yes, no, he didn't wreck the ship. But that is the first I've ever heard of that.
I hadn't heard of that either.
Yeah.
Now there are other things. There's like Opportunity Village and a few other Christmas things.
Yeah.
I think there's something at the Rio as well, isn't there?
There is something at the Rio.
Winter Wonderland.
The Winter Wonderland. They've basically altered their carnival.
Yeah.
And it's again very entertaining. Especially if you make it over there, off the strip near the Palms Hotel. And now here we are at the Venetian.
Oh.
Yeah. Our alma mater, where John and I spent some quality time. Now, I don't know that they had this while we were there, because I don't remember this.
With lighting the menorah, that was my job. Remember that?
Yes. John lit the menorah behind our facilities at the Venetian.
And it's hard, because when do I light it? At sundown. I don't know when that is. Come on, I work in a case.
Yeah, and we do our best. John's not Jewish, nor am I. And we did our best, and they still complained. Yeah. They told us how, and yet there were different ways of doing it. It was very strange how people would love to tell us what to do. But at the Venetian, in front of the Venetian, in front of the Doge Palace entrance, is a 65-foot Christmas tree, adorned, festooned, I might even say, with 50,000 LED lights.
Wow.
The tree, now I looked at it, the tree is all lights. It is built of lights. Wow. Yeah, it's actually quite cool. Yeah. But right there on the bridge as you cross over, it's very cool. Going over to the Excalibur Tournament of Kings has their holiday show, marked by the bringing of the snow by Merlin. Apparently it snows right inside the tournament arena there. The dinner hasn't changed. It's still...
Oh, the Cornish hen.
Yeah, the chicken.
I think they're leftovers from 2001.
That's right. No silverware. Rip it up with your hands.
That's right. But they do have Diet Coke, right?
Yeah. And then lastly, we have something that I have done, but not for Christmas, which is a Christmas helicopter ride over the Strip.
Now, is the helicopter pilot? Does he dress like Santa?
No.
Oh, that's good.
No, I would prefer he didn't, so he can see. But if anybody has a chance, one company, of course, John and I have mentioned before,
is Maverick.
The Maverick helicopters. They're right there at the end of the Strip, basically right across from the welcome to and goodbye sign. Yeah. Or right across the street from Mandalay Bay. It's called Maverick Helicopters. I only mention them because they have done a fantastic job. They were lovely to us when we were working.
Yep, they were good.
And I've done the Strip tour, and it's a little pricey for most people. But honestly, if you have the budget, I would highly recommend it, holiday or not. It's a really fun thing to do.
Yeah, I remember when they for the Grand Canyon tour where they would land in the Grand Canyon. At that time, it was $300 a ticket.
Right.
Which was much better. I mean, you could fly. I mean, in a plane, but it wasn't the same thing.
Right.
And I remember going down in the Grand Canyon and landing, and all the squirrels in that area. Squirrels are really quite smart.
Right.
They know that to sit there and stand up cute because they come out immediately.
Yeah.
They don't run. No, they come there because they know people have food, right? Because they would set out these snack trays with crackers and cheese, and everybody throws crackers and cheese to the squirrels, right? They're cute.
Yeah. So I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right.
Again.
All right.
What's in your memory? Yeah. In those many years.
Yeah.
What was your most memorable, not good or not bad.
Yeah.
Christmas present.
Oh, wow. That's a good question. I got to think about that one. Probably when I was a kid. I remember I got a toolbox. It wasn't, like I said, it was memorable because I wasn't expecting it. Usually that was it. Parents, what do you want for Christmas? Make the list. And you kind of know you're going to get that stuff, right? Yeah. So I did that, and I had a truck at that time, so I was older.
Right.
So I was old enough to have a vehicle. And I used to have tools in the back.
Right.
And they would slide around when I drove. So the old man got me one of these toolboxes that went across the whole width of the bed of the truck, and I really wasn't expecting that. I can't say it was like, oh, it's really something I really wanted.
Yeah.
It was something that I needed, and in some ways you can kind of think of a gift, a really good gift, is something that you wouldn't have bought for yourself.
Yeah.
Because that was the other thing I always thought was kind of absurd then about, because if I want something, go and buy it.
Yeah,
if I need to go out and get it, I don't have to tell you to go get it for me. And then, look at this.
Yes, there's a lot of people agree with you. Trust me, that I know.
Yeah. How about you?
I would have to say, one Christmas again as a child, I received a beautiful Schwinn 10-speed.
Nice.
Yeah, copper colored, with the ram handles, and it was very, very cool. And I remember to this day, it was one of those gifts. I didn't really want or get a lot of bicycles as a kid, but that one was for Christmas, and that one I always remember. It was really nice.
Yeah,
it was really nice. Yeah, I've always had dogs, and puppies came on different occasions, because I'm not real big on puppies for Christmas unless you go and get them at the pound.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't even know if pet stores are around nowadays, are they?
Well, there's always seemed to be in trouble. There's Petland. They just got busted again because they had a sick dog, and
But well, John, a little bit of Las Vegas during the winter. This is what we see, obviously.
Yeah. Now, as a concierge, what was one of the requests that you got during the Christmas season you would not get any other time of year? Because I can tell you when I got a complaint once, and it was one of these ones where I still think of it as being one of the more ridiculous. What planet are you from? Requests. It was the day after Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving's a Thursday. My days off, if you remember, at the Venetian were always Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes.
So I always had, at least I had Thanksgiving off. But it was Friday. I come in and this woman's complaining that there was not a Christmas tree in her room.
Oh my.
And I said, well, no, we don't. I mean, the day right after that, she really expected that all the rooms, all 3,036, would have a Christmas tree decorated in the rooms.
Really?
Yeah. And I thought, well, no. It's the day after Thanksgiving. We wouldn't have the time to put up 3,000 Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Second of all, if they were live Christmas trees like she was expecting, it would be a fire hazard, which the fire marshal would absolutely not allow.
Yeah, we couldn't even have candles in the room.
We couldn't even have candles in there. And I told her that. We're not even allowed to have candles.
Yeah.
This menorah I got down here isn't even real, right? It's got light bulbs in it.
Right. Yeah. And if we did put trees in the rooms, if we did have the inclination to do so, half of the people would have complained the other direction.
Yes.
Saying this is
It's
idolatry, Christian, blah,
yes,
blah, blah.
That's right.
Yeah. It's horrible. We led difficult lives. We were on a tightrope the whole time.
Yeah.
What did I get? Well, it was sort of because of the holidays. Down the street from us, probably about a half to 3/4 of a mile, is what used to be called the Bells Outlet. Now it's the Las Vegas Outlet South.
Yeah, that's right. It used to be Bells Outlet.
Yeah, and it's just an outlet mall that has full retail prices, but they say outlet, and then all the foreign people they fall
think
for
there's
it. So don't fall
like
for
a duty
that.
free shop.
Yeah.
Really? $85 for that?
Yeah, it's but somebody requested that, and they seem like normal people. And I directed them down there. Yeah. And they were persons of color, and I don't remember what their nationality was, but they were foreign nationals, and I sent them over there. That was it. I mean, I never thought to see or hear from them again. They came back, full head of steam, telling me. And at this time, the mall was completely decorated, including the carousel. And this actually had a larger issue, which I didn't realize about until later on. The carousel on it, it was fully decorated, lights and well beyond the normal decorations. And so everything was sort of spotlit, and on it was one of the horses was a saddlebag, inside of which was what could, obviously be the head of an Indian. Just the head. Yeah. Or you might say scalp. And they came back and read me the riot act. And that if I didn't immediately call the mall and have that horse removed, that they were going to have my job. Yeah. That was one of the most odd holiday situations I ever had. Now, did I call the mall? Sure, I did, because I like to say that I'm true to my word. And but I didn't request anything. I said, "Have you had?" And they said, "Oh my God, yes." They said, "We're in the throes of dealing with this right now." Yeah. And I said, "Okay, thank you, goodbye." Yeah. So
I had a request. It wasn't Christmas time, but somebody called. You remember we had shitty entertainers.
We did
when we worked at the Venetian. Yeah. And we had Andrew.
You didn't like Charo.
Well, she was a nice enough lady, right? I mean, she gave us a jar of salsa that was beyond the expiration date because I checked it.
And Robert Goulet.
Oh yeah.
Come on, John.
Yeah. Goulet didn't give us a nickel. That cheap bastard.
True.
Remember, he walked out on his own show.
He did. Yes, he did. Oh.
Remember, I was working the desk with Wayne. He goes, "There goes Goulet." I said, "What? Weird?" Because he just went out the door.
Everybody's looking at their watches.
Yeah. I said, "Well, you sure it was him or just some other guy who looked like him?" Because he was kind of a clowny looking guy because he looked the same from the 70s, right? He had the same mustache.
Right, exactly.
And then sure enough, people come up wanting refunds. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, but anyhow, we had Clay, Andrew Dice Clay, and somebody called the desk and said, "I heard I got tickets for the show. I'm taking my mother. I heard he uses foul language." Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of all he does as far as I can see. Because, well, would you mind well, I didn't realize that. Would you mind calling him and asking him to clean it up because my mother's going to be there? Sure. I'm sure he's going to tell me what to do with it, right?
That's right.
Right.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my.
But I wasn't as I didn't follow through like you did, Jamie. I didn't call Dice's room and
I was intrigued. Well, and to complete that story, it was subsequently removed. The whole horse was taken out.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, the whole horse and the Indian head and everything else, and because it was not that notable a situation, they didn't have a problem unhooking a horse and putting a new horse.
Yeah.
It's not like, the Atlanta Braves problem or the Chicago Blackhawks. They're not changing their name, and they're not changing, 50,000 person stadium all doing the
tomahawk chop.
Tomahawk chop. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
But, that's some of the things. Those are some of the things you can see when you come to Las Vegas. It is truly a unique holiday experience. I highly recommend it at least once. Wear a coat if you're going to be outside. But some important information. We are going to do a holiday break. And if John and I have done the math right, we will. Our next episode will debut on Tuesday, January 8th. So keep us tuned in for that and listen for that. But we wish everyone a wonderful Christmas, a happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Please, we hope you find your peace and you celebrate it with all the family involved. Thanks to everyone listening and watching. You can catch the Pod Bay Door on the Podbean app or any of your favorite podcast apps, including iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and Stitcher Radio. You can watch the show on our YouTube channel at the Pod Bay Door Podcast. Please download, like, and subscribe. Our social connectivity screen is coming up. Check in with us on Facebook, Twitter, and WordPress. The Pod Bay Door is closed and talent is out. Hey everybody, thank you very much for tuning into the show. We would love to hear your show suggestions and comments. If you are watching on our YouTube channel, please click to subscribe. You can also connect with us on Facebook using @PBD Podcast, on Twitter using @TPBD Podcast, and on WordPress at thepodbaydoor.wordpress.com.